The introduction of the double intake system in Kenya university education saw a huge enrollment of students into public universities. Many of those universities only strained to provide accommodation for students inside school. The hostels, however, could not sustain the huge inflow of students. Thousands of students, as a result, were forced to look for their own accommodation off campus. This was February 23rd, 2015. Thousands of Moi University students at the Eldoret main campus went on a rampage, engaging police in running battles and accusing them of failing to protect them. At the heart of the matter was a murder most foul. Charity Maina, second-year student then, was attacked, gang-raped and killed at this very place, just a few meters from her house. Her books left beside her.
If you could look at her rightly, she had some marks on her neck. So it was a case of murder, strangling.
Charity, like thousands of other students, was residing off campus. On the day that death came calling, she was walking from the library to her room, located outside school in a place popularly known as Stage. Captured in her last moment by her perpetrators and with no way to escape, she was accosted, raped and murdered few minutes after 10 p.m.
If she was living inside the school, that is, it was much easier because you can see the other hostels are just inside the school.
There was a state of insecurity because the Stage at some point, especially where she used to stay, it was bushy.
But that is Charity's case. Similar cases of death and disappearance of university students will be witnessed in the years that followed. Last February, Edmond Ruto of Egerton University, Nakuru, stabbed his girlfriend to death before attempting suicide. Her landlord said there had been frequent scuffles between the two. They rented outside school.
Making security a very thorny issue because...
Victor Ono, a third-year student at the School of Information Sciences, is one of the many students in Moi University living off campus.
Raped and they get to be attacked.
He walks me through this route. Many of the students living outside campus follow this route on a daily basis.
Most people have been clobbered, others have been pierced with knives. It's a terrible thing to imagine. And when such things fall on Imora, having seen before them that these cases don't see the light of day, justice rather, they don't report them. They just stick with them and they remain having a bitter heart in what happened to them.
In Moi University alone, over 7,000 students stay outside the school hostels every semester. Joseph Alovi, a first-year student studying media science, is one of them. This is his room. It is 5 kilometers away from the university wall. 3 years ago, the body of another student was found a few meters from this place. Joseph lives with his roommate, a fourth-year student whom they share this bed. He tells me he just met his roommate on his first day at campus.
Actually, simjui nile tu saa jia tu alitulemisha hizi vitu juu. By that time sikuwa nimepata room yet, nilikuwa nimekuja unaona. So kuna church fulani hapo juu inaitwa Grace Chapel. Hiyo inasimamia mambo na children ministry. So tulikutania pale nikamgotea. By that time sikuwa hata nimepata room.
He had no choice but to stay with a stranger who had presented himself as a good Samaritan. 2 weeks after I left Moi University and having established contact with Joseph, I received this text from him.
Good morning. I'm writing to clarify an issue that happened yesterday night at 1 a.m. We were robbed in the room by a thief who at any cost spared our life since he had all the time with him. He broke the window and used it to get through to the room. I personally lost my phone that I usually use in doing assignments. My message is, if you receive a WhatsApp message before I make official communication through a message or a call using my number, please ignore it. Pray for me. Thank you.
When I called him back, he sounded traumatized. From his voice, I could tell he was a worried man. He actually failed to tell how his roommate and him were not able to detect any movement at night, But still, he had to go back to the same room that night, despite what happened the previous night.
The university security itself.
Dr. Duncan Omanga, the head of Department Media and Publishing, Moi University, acknowledges that security for students living outside campus is indeed a menace.
Security becomes a challenge in terms of guaranteeing their security because they are in an ambiguous state. You don't know if they are within the jurisdiction of the university or they are within the jurisdiction of what I could call the state. The universities that receive the most amounts of money seem to be the universities that have an acute shortage of accommodation. So it tells us one thing: these universities focused on getting more students who will bring in more money, but this more money was not being channeled to improve infrastructure in terms of accommodation.
The security of the students living within campus is always guaranteed by the university management. But the situation is different when they cross over. Here, their security is compromised. Makori Ongechi, Citizen TV in Moi University, Eldoret.